Morocco's King Mohammed VI pardons over 4,800 cannabis growers. Moroccan's King Mohammed VI has pardoned more than 4,800 people wanted or convicted of illegal cannabis cultivation. This was reported by the Moroccan newspaper Le Matin and the French news agency AFP on Monday evening, August 19th, citing the North African country's justice ministry. The pardoned farmer simply met the conditions for pardon, the ministry said, explaining the decision. The Moroccan government says it wants to integrate the pardoned cannabis farmers into the new cannabis strategy. In 2021, Morocco passed a law legalizing the cultivation of cannabis for pharmaceutical, medical, and industrial purposes. Recreational use remains officially banned but tolerated. According to the United Nations, Morocco is one of the world's largest producers of cannabis. So, okay. From 2021, the cultivation and use of cannabis will be allowed in 3 disadvantaged rural provinces in the northeastern Rif region. In this region, cannabis cultivation is the main source of income, and hashish and weed mixed with tobacco have been smoked for generations. By legalizing it, the Moroccan government hoped to improve working conditions for growers and to take the wind out of the sails of illegal drug traffickers. So the reason why this is so exciting is, if you guys don't know a lot about Morocco, it's called Moroccan hash for a reason. And that region that they're talking about being disadvantaged, I had the opportunity, and unfortunately COVID stole it from me, but to finally have a safe way to go to Morocco, because after a certain point, they know why you're there. You probably aren't safe there like as a civilian. You're probably not safe there from the police or the authorities, right? So this is a really exciting time for Morocco. There's a really rich, amazing heritage there as far as hash making, and I wanted to go because I wanted to see some of the genetics that we'd created being drummed out and made into hash the original way. So shout out to Malakia Seeds, who is from Spain and allowed to cultivate out there and make hash as well. So this is very exciting. I love that they are making sure that they're integrated into the process, not just being pardoned. And I think that this is a huge step forward for Morocco. I'm very excited to see what hash comes out when it's not such a secret. I hope that it doesn't ruin the culture. I hope that people don't get excited and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to make this Thailand, because you're not. It's not that way. But I think that the restorative justice aspect of this is a huge win, and I'm really excited to see this happen for Morocco, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
Congratulations,
excellent news.
Morocco. Yeah.
Yep. Excellent news. Thank you, Jenny Beth. I'm glad you covered the story because if somebody else did other than you.
Saman, you're muted, but I'm salivating at what you're showing.
I think if somebody else covered it other than you, it wouldn't have been as good of justice given your background.
I said shout out Brick Hash. Shout out Moroccan Brick Hash.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
This is how we do. Shout out Hash Fight and Kalia Extracts and Canacraft. We just had a dope traditional sift class at the end of last month, and it's a very big success. We had a lot of people come down and see the new technology that's been created to separate, these fine particles and to separate the trichome heads to make. Like,
Can I finish my talking track though?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, please. Sorry. I
was gonna say, I hope a lot of the other countries follow suit. This just goes back to when I was in my story. I said this is the positive stuff that we've seen out of the last couple of administrations, and Trump included. See, this is your olive branch, Jason, right there. Yeah, you got to do right by these folks, especially if you're going to be making money off of it. You got to do right by the folks that were put away for it, criminalized.
I love this story. I'm so glad that Jenny shared this because there's a lot of conversations that I like to amplify and cheerlead around preserving the know-how and the culture in the historic producing regions here in Northern California. And Morocco is an exponentially better international example of that. And I envision a world where there can be cannabis competitions internationally, and where Spain can throw up its best and Morocco can throw up its best and Pakistan can throw up its best, and we can all sort of contribute. And so the know-how that they have, the genetic repositories that are still over there, the generational know-how, I don't think you can be about this plant and not want to see that country find a way to preserve that and position itself on the global stage for eventual international legalization and the ability to export from there. I think about products that come from certain regions, and I think about vinegar. And if you look at a balsamic bottle of vinegar, the majority of it is from a place in Italy named Modena. And I think about 5-10 years from now, and hash and the majority of the hash on the world stage being able to have that same designation from a region that is known for being where great hash comes from. So kudos to Morocco, and especially with the justice involved issue, they've been obviously paying attention, and I think this is just fantastic news and a step in the right direction.
Interesting.
And shout out hash, big win for hash.
This is I think this is a huge win just for cannabis culture as a whole. I mean, this is where a lot of roots of initial hash making originated, and just to see that that this area is being protected in this way, I think is fantastic.
It's the equivalent of a UNESCO heritage site for cannabis.
Yeah. Take that, your Appalachian
It's definitely
laws.
one of them. Yeah, it's definitely one of them for sure. And I mean, you know, it's I think, like, you know, the concentration of cannabis production, you know, in Africa, I think, you know, there's other producing regions, but Moroccan hash is specific because of just the aridness and like how they have to harvest and the reason why you hash the product in certain areas. But like, you know, all I can say is, there's going to be a lot of cool things happening with the proliferation of technology and with some really new cool techniques and philosophies on mass reduction of these trichomes from the plant. So, you know, I know our boys in here, Johnny Smash is in our comments. So shout out Johnny and his crew, because they're on, you know, the cutting edge. And, you know, we love to see new emerging technologies in this field, and obviously for the most pure, truest solventless product that you can ever get, which is SIFT.